is up? We are back, Black in the building. Back to back like the Lakers in the 80s, the Bulls in the 90s, Detroit in the 80s, the Celtics, not the Lakers in the 2000s though. Niggas thought that they was going back to back. LeBron was like, yeah. That type of shit. That's what y'all niggas get. Believing in the motherfucking tooth fairy. That's what y'all niggas get, man. Anyway, shout out to everybody that's out there at the Court Plantation that's handling business, that's doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that isn't at the Court Plantation. You already know it is. I didn't even know it was Easter Sunday, but it's Easter Sunday. Did he come back? Oh, damn, man. All this hooping and hollering and all this bullshit. But nigga, you still getting bopped upside your head by the white supremacists every chance that they get. So shout out to everybody out there that's at the Court Plantation or getting ready to go to the Court Plantation and handle business and make your bread. Shout out to everybody that's celebrating Easter. Shit, nigga try to go to a couple of stores and the shit is closed. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all closed for? It ain't no holiday. Like, oh, it's Easter. Nigga, don't nobody celebrate that shit. Fuck out of here, nigga. We gonna get into shout out to everybody that's out there handling business and celebrating Easter Sunday. I guess that's what they want to do. Damn, I thought I dropped my motherfucking phone, but anyway. Damn. But that was this right here. I was gonna try to make sure I didn't drop my motherfucking phone again. My shit been tripping. Dropped it one time, and that shit been tripping ever since. But shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's out there handling business and doing what the fuck they need to do. Like I just said, shout out to all you finessing ass niggas too that's at the Court Plantation. Nigga be pretending like he want to work hard, but he take the extra overtime so he go up there and beg and shit. Shout out to all them niggas too. It's a bunch of begging ass niggas as we speak. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody that checked out the podcast last night. Shout out to Nick, Dom, Nick, man. We handled it. We got a second one under our belt. Man, if y'all ain't go check out that one, go check out the podcast we did last night, man. We gonna be doing it probably every Saturday. So, man, I'm going to probably be doing podcasts at least 3 to 4 times a week, man. So, y'all niggas ain't going to never be able to get rid of my ass. But anyway, shout out to everybody that's celebrating Easter and his timely return. It's a whole bunch of niggas out there praying. Niggas won't come together. Shout out to all you niggas that won't come together for the common goal of eradicating racism, white supremacy, and establishing the system of justice. But a nigga will invite you to go praise Jesus. And then when you be like, well, you know that's Cesare Borgia, they going to be like, well, who the fuck is that? Just like me. I was like, who the fuck is Cesare? Who the fuck is that? It looked like they ain't spelled Cesare. I was like, who the fuck is that? Nigga, Google Cesare Borgia. You gonna be like, God damn, I've been praying to this nigga the whole time? Some shit that they told you to pray to. And shout out to all I know it's a whole bunch of women with a fruit basket, you know, with their Chiquita banana fucking headdresses on and shit. And it's a whole bunch of niggas with their fucking Easter suits and shit. COVID and all. I thank God for being here. Nigga don't want to come out the house all year for the goddamn COVID. But Easter Sunday, nigga got to show his Easter suit. Shout out to everybody with them clown ass Easter baskets. So, man, we gonna get into it. We gonna talk about it. Niggas want to celebrate Easter, but while y'all celebrating Easter, there's niggas out there really making moves and doing what the fuck they need to do. So, we gonna talk about all that. We gonna talk about Hunter Biden and his crack binges that he was going through. We're gonna kind of touch back on the brother Noah Green, if that's his name, the Capitol attack. You know how they trying to frame it. He has some mental illnesses, but they don't want to give him the mental shit. the good fight. Clip. Boy, the good fight clip. So say it. The good fight. Wait, what? But man, I'm reading the chat right now. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, Shawnee, man, what's happening? Hey, you know I always represent Philly, man. Hey, you put me on, man. Shout out to everybody that's putting people on the knowledge. Every day is a school day. As Nilly Fuller Jr. says, I'm still learning. So there was a time when I was talking about a book. I think it was Medical Apartheid. I mentioned this last night. Hey, what's going on, Tasha? I see you. Hey, Shawnee. Hey, Tasha. You see? Hey, did you see that podcast with my nigga Nick? That's what I was trying to send you. Look it up on YouTube. Okay. Here, let me see. 6. Clips don't say it. SO2 EO6. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on. Hey, Tosh, did you check out that motherfucking podcast with Nick? I hope you like that shit. That nigga be doing some studying though, man. He just don't be on there bullshit. We gonna get into all that. I'm about to look something up that Shawnee put me on to, but for all y'all that be listening on SoundCloud, everything, Shawnee, she put me on to the Move group. I never even knew about the Move group out of Philly. I never knew about that shit. I don't act like, I never knew about the Move group. So shout out to Shawnee for that. She put me on to blackandnoble.com. I get my black soap, my sea mouse and shit. So shout out to Shawnee, man. And I remember one time I was doing a podcast, Shawnee, you probably don't even remember, and I was talking about medical apartheid, and I was talking about the nigga that came up with the first fish stealer, the first obstetricianist, the white supremacist, and you was like, James Sims. And I was like, yep. So, man, just shout out to Shawnee. And you put me on to the Book of Eli. Not the Book of Eli, oh, God, what was that book that we was talking about? And I ended up getting it. Oh, God. See, I'm blanking. I be having to take my Tahuti, my iRod brain tuner pills and shit. My memory be fucked up. You would have think I done smoked 10 blunts. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody that's out there handling business. I did see it. I'm going to go back and watch. That's what, okay. Hey, Tasha, did you check it out? That's why I'm waiting for Tasha. You know, Tasha gonna say if it's real. It's good, man. We went over like 15 minutes at a time. We try to keep it between 30 and 45 minutes. But, you know, my man Nick, man. Before we get into it, I'm gonna discuss some shit. Yes, the Book of Enoch. I said the Book of Eli. My bad. Yeah, the Book of Enoch. But yeah, man, I'm trying to, if y'all don't know this, man, before I really get into the subjects and shit at hand, I'm about to look that shit up too, Shawnee. I'm trying to really promote this Saturday podcast, man, because honestly, to tell you the truth, you know, I've been wanting this for a minute, for a long time. And you know, the only person, shout out to Nuke, and I'm always was listening to it. I liked it. Was at the plantation. Okay, cool. Okay, good looking. Shout out to Nuke. That's gonna always be an OG member of this podcast. She started it with me, but Nuke be busy, like super busy, and our schedules don't align. So that's why she wasn't able to really, you know, and then the COVID shit. But I'll tell you this right now, man. I've been planning and putting it out there. Certain times things fall through. This is not about me dissing nobody else, but I'm a person. Look, the way I was raised in consistency. I tell you that. Consistency is the key. Because we was consistently taking our black asses to church. But hey, it taught me consistency. And you gotta be consistent. You know, hard work triumphs talent any day of the week. You could be talented, but if you don't have no hard work behind it, there ain't nothing that's gonna happen. And that's why I gotta, you know, give props to that part of my upbringing, because consistency is the key. If you're not consistent, it ain't gonna fold. And a lot of niggas just wasn't consistent, and that's why it didn't work. And but it just happened to work with my bro. So we already got 2 podcasts down. We going for a 3rd one. So I'm about to look this shit up right now, man. But we about to get into it. We about to talk too about the significance of why we praise Easter Sunday, and we're gonna relate it to crack. And you're like, why? How does Easter eggs go along with crack? Because you already know how I feel about Easter, or Ishtar, and I'm gonna play some audio of Hunter Biden, y'all favorite president, the architect behind the 94 crime bill. And Tasha, I want to discuss. I don't want to put no family members on blast. You're going to have to text me those family members that you was talking about, because I ain't forget that shit either. But I want to know who the fuck it was, bad. But we're going to be discussing why it is okay for us to praise Joe Biden when he instituted and was the architect behind the 94 crime bill, but his son is on crack. But his ass ain't in jail. So we're going to talk about all that. Let's get into it. Man. What is going on, man? Shout out to everybody out there again, plantation, everything. Like I said, man, I'm really trying to pub this podcast that me and my bro Nick is doing, man, because I'm really excited about it. He's young, you know, he's a millennial, and he's studying and reading, and that's what I respect. I don't respect a motherfucker that's just running their mouth and ain't, you know, just off of experience. You can have experience, but if you're not studying and reading, you can never understand how this system of racism, white supremacy works and how detailed it is at keeping black folk behind the line. So Shawnee, when you get a chance, go watch it, man, and tell me what you think. Hey, y'all might not like it. I know 066, he was watching it last night. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's not normal, not like our normal time, but man, I'm just really trying to push that one too, man, because it's just a different perspective. And I want people to hear a perspective from somebody that don't look like us, that's really reading. Not no Tim Wise and no Jane Elliott, that every time you bring up reparations, them motherfuckers get to... motherfuckers be looking around getting selective memory. Like, reparations? What does that really mean? You know, they get to acting like Sharon Osbourne when these motherfuckers bring up reparations. Explain it to me. What? Tell me what it is. You know, that bullshit. So, man, hope everybody is, you know, as they would say, prayed up. And if you're celebrating Easter, no diss. I just like to poke fun of it. You know, I grew up in church, man, and we had to do the clown ass, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning as if we was Jesus. And going to church and church and church and church and church. You know, so I poke fun of it because I wish our black folk was so in tune with generational wealth and understanding history like we want to understand that Bible. Like, that's what I wish that's all I wish we was doing. No diss. I love my black Christians and my black Muslims and all that, but I just wish we were more immersed and I wish we would bathe mentally more in history than we do in just, oh yeah, sunrise service. Oh Lord Jesus. Nigga be up at 3 o'clock with the roosters. Nigga already up. Matter of fact, you waking the roosters. Hey nigga, you supposed to be already. Nigga, I've been up before you type shit. That's how early we used to have to get up. That shit was not fun either. So a nigga could come on, put on his Easter suit and say a clown ass Easter speech. You know, and you don't know because the indoctrination of religion, you're just going by what you've been told. That's why you look at Candomblé, you know, when you looked at voodoo and Candomblé and Santeria, and you look at all these religions and Ifa, and you look at these, you're told to fear those religions. You know, I always talk about how, ask these Latino brothers, hey man, y'all familiar with Santeria? Them motherfuckers start bucking their eyes and cooning. That's why I was like, oh, y'all niggas is acting like coons now. But they'll praise some Catholic shit. That ain't even your shit. Catholicism started in Rome. That's not your shit. That's for Italians and Europeans. But, you know, that's neither here nor there, man. So, man, we gonna talk about this shit, man. I got some audio, but before I talk about anything, I just wanted to talk about how important it is if you're gonna worship a Sunday that they gave you, then why don't you start taking the time to immerse yourself in this history, man? And I'm not talking about to elderly people. I'm talking about to people, if you're 50 and younger, you should have at least tried to read one book outside of the Bible. Because niggas ain't even reading the Bible. That's what irritates me about a lot of so-called Christians. These niggas don't be reading the Bible. Oh, you read the Bible? Niggas like, yeah. Then why you eating that pig? It says the swine, that's, you're not supposed to eat that. Oh, well, where does it say that? Well, where does it say 10% of your tithe and just all these amendments? And then the nigga be like, well, what's up for interpretation? That's why I don't get into people about the Bible, because I feel like, as Neely Fuller Jr. teaches, that's not constructive behavior. I'm not going to argue nobody down about their religion. We can put that to the side. Let's talk about history. Let's talk about things that we need to learn and we need to know. And what does that say? SO2, EO6. All right, hold on. Let me look it up. SO2, EO6. Is it magenta? Magenta. Let's see. What is it? What? I don't know what the fuck is. Wait. Mystery row. Hold on. I'm looking it up right now, Shawnee. You gotta educate me a little bit on what it is. Am I typing it in wrong? Is it SO2 EO6 or S02 E06? Tell me what I'm looking up. Let me know. Because I'm looking in the chat right now. And hold on, let me see. You know my blind ass. I think that's S02. Yeah, that's S02. My bad, Shawnee, man. Look, dumbass nigga. Wait, no, hold on. S02 E06. Let's see. Now what is this? All right. I don't hey, kind of educate me on what I'm looking up, cause I don't want to just be clicking on anything. And 02, yeah. The good fight. Okay. Say so. Okay. The good fight. Hold on. Let me see. The good fight. Say it. So say it. Okay, it came up. The good fight. So say it. Is that with Delroy Lindo? The Good Fight, day 443 year. Okay, starring. It's got a clip. It looks like it's say it. Is it that? Cause I'm about to play it right now. Let me know if that's it. Cause if that's it, there's a clip and it looks like it's Delroy. Oh, so let me know. I'm talking to the shot. Yes, it's a clip. Okay, all right. Hey man, somebody in the chat, the homie Shawnee, she always put me up on to real game. I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes I be like, damn, like that move group, I'm still tripping off that. I'm like, damn, they don't teach none of this shit in school. I never knew that shit happened. And that was like in the 80s or some shit. I'm like, damn. But I didn't know that shit happened, man. So I'm still fucked up over that. So good looking. I'm about to play this clip right now.
Did you know that
But nigga, we ain't playing no commercials though. Y'all niggas got us fucked up. You know, they niggas be trying to sneak in their little commercials and shit. No, nigga, this ain't ESPN, this ain't ABC or CBS, nigga. Fuck out of here. All right, here we go.
Don't get up. Adrian, how are you?
Good.
Good. Great. Listen, everyone at the network loves you. You're smart, you're articulate. The thing is we like it when you bring a little more heat to the panel.
Oh, be the angry black man.
Ooh, you wrong with this. This is what we talk about every day. These conversations, that's why, Shawnee, I want you, when you get a chance, to go back and watch the podcast from yesterday. I'm not just hyping up on no bullshit, but what we're talking about, we censor a lot of the shit we say because we're not trying to call out names, and because I'm just not trying to. That was one thing that I told him. I'm not trying to be no, baiter where you bait people and, oh, who's he talking about? And I don't need to call out names and do all that. So we try to censor a lot of the shit that we say, but this is what I get all the time at the corporate plantation. Matter of fact, my nigga Nick, he done watched me go through it. That's a fact.
No, that's an ugly stereotype. Just go with your impulses. People are riled up these days. They want to hear someone saying what they're thinking. That's all. We're all looking for those viral moments.
Ooh, did y'all catch that? Man, I wish I would have got this. I would have played this on Thursday, because that's exactly what they do. And it's always some Caucasian, dominant society, suspected white supremacists that will basically tell you need to be a buck dancing, Sambo, tell them about the gun line, Haywood Shepherd, Steve from Django ass motherfucker. That's what we want. We want a tap dancing, buck dancing motherfucker. That's what we want. Buck the eyes and dance, and eyes dance for you, boss. That's what they want.
I'll see you out there. It's a great vest.
Why does racism only go one way? That's what I want to know. I see racism against whites every day, every single day, yet
Hey, Nick, I hope my nigga Nick is watching this. Bro, this is exactly how they really feel. Whoever put this together, this is exactly how they feel. This is how they feel. You know what? The dominant society is so cold, like I talked about yesterday. They good at making you feel guilty about bringing up reparations. They'll get to acting like Sharon Osbourne. And don't you dare cry. If anyone should be crying, it should be me. That bullshit.
a racist for pointing that out?
Adrian, what's your take?
Take on what?
What Chuck just said. Is racism just a one-way street?
I think that's his opinion.
Look at your firm, Adrian. You get the benefit of no bid contracts because you're an African-American firm. Now, as a white lawyer, what am I supposed to think of that?
I don't know.
Shit. It's funny, but it's real, man. That shit is real. I'm telling you, it's funny, but it's real. It's funny, but it's real. I'm telling you.
I think Chuck is pointing out a double standard here, Adrian. I mean, take hip-hop. We've talked about this on the show before.
Oh, and they always bring up hip-hop. That's a fact.
You have African-American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know you can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you. Say it.
All right, I think...
Hey, I'm telling you, man. I got some other ideas too, and that's what I'm about to start doing, man. I'm about to start doing old school, and I'm not gonna put a lot of my shit out there because I noticed on a lot of podcasts, you know, they're doing it the old way, you know, the new and inventive way, the Zooms and all that. But me, I like the old school feeling, and there's some things that I want to do, and I'm gonna bring a different perspective to this channel. I'm telling you, I got some shit coming down the pike, but this shit is funny right here.
We can move on.
Why move on when you want to say it? Both of you want to say it. Huh? All together, everybody.
And that's exactly how they feel. That's exactly how they feel. That's a fact. Hey, Shawnee, that was amazing. That's exactly how they feel, too. That's the real. That's the real. Y'all notice that when you are at the corporate plantation, right? You're at your own corporate plantation, no matter what you is. Let's say you're a boss or a manager, supervisor, whatever it is. Don't you notice that most of the dominant society that work around you, most other racial groups, when they're not as confident as you, and you know they're not confident, they start to stutter and they can't really hold a decent conversation with you. If you black, they always results to sports because they just figure every nigga, you know, the only conversation that they can really carry on is about sports. You know what I mean? Like, I know y'all get that shit because I'm telling y'all get it too. Why make a big deal out of when they want to say it? It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's real. Why make a big deal out of when they want to say it? Exactly. That's a fact. See, here's the thing. They say it whether you like it or not. This is what people don't get. They gonna say it irregardless to what you think and regardless to what you might say. They gonna say it anyway. That's how they feel. That's in their heart. It's so funny. Dog the Bounty Hunter. You talk to a lot of Hawaiians, they don't like that white motherfucker at all. You know, and you know, he's got a history of anti-black racism. Him and his buddy killed a black man, and then when his son wanted to bring a black girl around, fuck that nigger. She's a nigger bitch, and I don't want her around. And then motherfucker, and then all he gotta do is cry and moan. They let him back on TV. Look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was spitting that nigga shit, and then they kicked him out of the WWE or whatever. And then what'd he do? He went and fucked his home. They planned that. They planned that. He fucked his homeboy's wife. You know what I'm saying? Because that probably wasn't even really his wife. They probably just filmed him, and he knew he was being filmed and was like, hey, y'all filmed me illegally. I'm suing, and got $20 million. Them white folks always going to be on code with each other. But is black folk going to establish a code where we dealing with that? I'll tell you this, just from my own experience being at core plantations and stuff like that. That's why I shout out to Nuke. That's the homie right there, man. Nuke done put me on and showed me a whole different way of how to conduct yourself at the core plantation. And the thing that I've noticed the most about Nuke, knowing her 15, 16 years that I've known her, Nuke ain't no ass-kissing person. She ain't no fake, phony individual. She don't be involved in a lot of bullshit. Matter of fact, she ain't involved in no shit, period. It's about doing the job and going to fuck home. And that's why me and her got cool real tight. We got tight real fast because that's just how it was, man. Because that's how I like to be. I'm not trying to be involved in nobody's bullshit. I don't care. It's not enough time in the day to be focused on somebody else's bullshit. You know what I mean? And that taught me a lot. That's why every day is a school day. You know what I'm saying? You got to constantly be learning. Because, you know, when you're dealing with racism, white supremacy, if you're not trying to establish a system of justice, then what the fuck are you what are you doing around? Like, don't even come around me. That's why last night we talked about the reparations. I don't want to give it all away, but it's the truth. Motherfuckers is with you until you start talking about giving up money. Then when you start talking about giving up money, the motherfuckers start looking at you crazy and shit like, my parents, you know, they came here with nothing. And we grew up poor too on trailer parks. So what makes you think you deserve, well, but you growing up in a trailer park, you need to blame that on your own racial group. They're in charge. If you're white in the United States of America Incorporated and you are poor, blame it on your own racial group. They're the ones that's in charge. Just like if I'm black, right? And my racial group is in charge and I'm poor, I need to be looking at them, not looking at everybody else. And I shouldn't be mad if somebody else is trying to speak up for their own. That's what you need to start doing. And we need to stop, in my personal opinion, praising these templates that the dominant society gives us. Like, oh, man, because they're successful. First of all, if you're black in the United States of America Incorporated, you need to understand that the system is against you and it's for the dominant society. So why do you think that you're going to get the same successes? Y'all stop telling y'all kids, you can be the president of the United States. You can be the CEO, blah, 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 blah. You can do, stop lying. Stop lying. I don't care how smart your son is or your daughter is. Unless they conform and bend the knee and acquiesce. No. Now, if you're raising people to just want to get a job and do that, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like more black people need to learn how to be entrepreneurs and not be depending on these so-called corporate America jobs, which I like to call plantations, because that's how you're treated. You know, you look at the human resource department, who they look like, because they definitely don't look like, when's the last time you seen a black person in human resources? And if they are, they're going to be bucking their eyes, and I help you with a goddamn thing. Remember that shit. So these are just things you need to understand and learn. Now, I'm about to play this audio of Joe 94 Crime Bill's son, Hunter Biden. The reason why I'm playing this audio is because it's so funny how on Easter Sunday, motherfuckers want all's forgiven. Let's go to church and eat and have on our Sunday's best and eat eggs and shit like that. First of all, ask anybody, what's up with the eggs and the eggs and all that? What's the reference to the eggs in the Bible? Like what is that? I don't understand what that is. Ask them that. That's first. Second of all, the chocolate eggs and all that. You already know I get on that. And I'll get on that in a minute. But y'all need to understand what that's about. You're praising something that somebody gave you. And then while you're praising something, on the other hand, you got the dominant white society on the other, like, well, basically, yeah, I had a crack pipe, but you know what? I had addiction and I grew up fucked up. So y'all just gotta overlook what the fuck I was going through. Why? Well, you have to overlook what I was going through because I'm white and you're not. And most likely you're probably a nigger because only the niggers are oppositional. And there's only some niggers. Most niggers are good niggers and they're not oppositional. And then that's the nigga, the black person that they parade around you in racial showcase and cause confusion and have you thinking, oh, they fuck with black people. And then you get to talk to the black person and that's the biggest Sambo and biggest coon mammy that you ever met in your life. So we about to talk about this. So here, let me cut this music off real quick and I'm gonna play some audio. And the reason why I'm playing some audio because you know when it's a black person, he on crack and all this other shit. Then they act like that. If a black person don't crack, they are not gonna tell you how his upbringing was. But when a white person don't crack, oh, the opioid epidemic, and you know he just grew up, you know, losing everyone in his life. He's too affluent. That bullshit. But when it's a black person, oh, he's a crack baby. His mom was a crack addict and his dad was a pimp. And he sold crack to the mom and fucked her good and she had a crack baby. That's how they do niggas. So I just thought I'd let y'all know that.
President Joe Biden has known no shortage of controversy in recent years, which means there was plenty to discuss when we sat down to chat not long ago.
You've said your dad always saw the good in you through all of this.
See? They always, see, what did I tell you? I didn't even watch this video. They gonna always talking about, he always saw the good in you. This is y'all president that y'all elected, that y'all think is going to erase the system, erase the white supremacy, and establish a system of justice. If they wanted to establish a system of justice, they would do it tomorrow. They would wake up and be like, all right, ain't no more anti-black racism, period. All you other racial groups, you'll get shit after the black folks get it because they built the country. So we going to go by who built what, when, and how. Chinamen, sorry, y'all get it last because y'all niggas finished what we already started with the railroad. And that's basically all y'all did. And y'all really didn't do much, period. So you start doing that to other racial groups will start taking their asses back to where they came from. But they're going to come here as long as black folk are the punching bag or the doormat.
Was there ever a time when you thought, okay, there's no way he's going to give up on me. I've done it now?
Never, not once.
Hunter Biden is the president's second son,
a Yale-trained lawyer and a lobbyist who's well-publicized.
A Yale-trained lawyer who, I would say, had a crack pipe in his mouth. If you look at my thumbnail face picture, I'm on mistake. That was a crack pipe. But okay.
Drug problems, personal scandals, and business dealings seem to have kept him in the headlines for all the wrong reasons.
There's a current Department of Justice investigation into your finances.
Yep.
What is it about? Can you say anything more?
I can't, but I can say this, is I'm cooperating completely. And I am...
Nigga, you ain't got no choice but to cooperate. You're busted. You see how they are? I can say I'm cooperating. Basically, like, well, I'm a white person and I'm not a nigger, so they're not going to treat me like a nigger. And I'll get off, just like Aunt Becky's husband from Full House. He got off. That nigga told the judge, I don't want to do the rest of my term in federal prison. I'm just going to kind of do it at home. And then he was just kind of like, you know what? I did it at home. I don't want to be on house arrest no more. And I kind of just want to go do my own thing. And the judge granted that shit to him. Facts.
Absolutely certain, 100% certain, that at the end of the investigation, that I will be cleared of any wrongdoing.
You're 100% certain
I'm 100% certain of it. And all I can do is cooperate and trust in the process.
If you look at every person with a credit score over 800, they all have
no,
one thing
nigga,
in
no,
common.
you ain't, no, fuck that. But you know what? I'm reading the comments, Shawnee. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Look, I'm glad you said that, Shawnee. And Tasha, you right. Have you ever? You work jobs. I work jobs. Shawnee, you work jobs. When is the last time you ever seen? I'm talking about a black person that is in charge of HR. We're not talking of human resources. We're not talking about somebody that just works there. We're talking about like the vice president of human resources. No, it ain't never no nigga. And if it is, they toting the line of the dominant society. They don't give a fuck about you. Trust and believe you me. None of them do. They smile with you and talk to you, but they don't give a fuck. You a dumb nigga to them. And if they are a melanated brother, it's probably some tethered motherfucking immigrant that oh, you lazy niggas that treat niggas like shit and get around white folk and talk shit about niggas like they not niggas. And then they only want to claim niggerdom when they basically get treated like shit by the dominant society. Look at Mohammed Noor, who shot and killed that white woman from Australia. They gave them people $25 million and he was found guilty. Nigga, you a nigga. No, I am not. I'm not an African American. It don't matter. You look like one. And guess what? We on code, we white, and we do what we want, and you're not. Guilty, nigga. And they cut that woman's family a check immediately for $25 million and sent them to prison for 12 years. But Officer Yanez shot and killed Philando Castile on Facebook Live, and that nigga was basically found not guilty. I think he only did 9 months in prison, and that was time served during the trial. That's it. Now this nigga is walking around like ain't nothing happened. Now they want to make a big deal with George Floyd. They don't give a fuck. And that's true. Look at Elizabeth Warren. That bitch lied. First of all, the bitch was a Republican. She knew a dyke Republican wasn't going to get her nowhere. So then she went over to the Democrat side, the liberal side. And then she tried to say she was Native American. And then they fucking checked her shit. Bitch, you not Native American. You a lying motherfucker. And then she was like, oh, I just was under the assumption. No, you're a liar. You're a pretendian. You're not a Native American Indian. Stop. Stop with the bullshit. And you're right. If they start giving out reparations, all these poor white folk will be tracing their shit talking about, well, you know, my great granddaddy, his dad was half Moorish. They'd be trying to claim Moorish like a motherfucker, wouldn't they? And be doing whatever they could to get some of that money. Like I said, if you're poor and white, you need to blame your own racial group. Don't be blaming us. That's a motherfucking fact. Let's get on with some more.
From the time he was a toddler, Hunter Biden and his older brother Beau were fixtures in Joe Biden's public life. And when they were both hurt in the 1972 car...
See how they bringing up how they got into a car accident? You know how many niggas get in car accidents? It's so funny how they'll bring that shit up 30 years ago, but when we bring up slavery, motherfuckers be like, that was so long ago, Tyrone. Like, come on, dude, you're here with us now. You know? Come on, you're the director. You know, and then the person that's talking shit to you, he's your supervisor. He ain't got no degree or nothing. Golly gee, fucking Jerome. Come on, man. Don't be so divisive. But we can't bring up slavery, gentrification, red lighting. We can't bring up none of that shit. But they can bring up the Holocaust every chance they get. They don't never let you forget that shit. And that happened in Europe.
Crash that killed their mother and sister. Their dad, a newly elected U.S. senator, took his
A white supremacist.
oath of office in a hospital room.
If in 6 months or so there's a conflict between my being a good father and being a good senator, which I hope will not occur, we can always get another senator, but they can't get another father.
But as the Biden sons got older, their paths diverged. Bo was a war veteran and Delaware Attorney General with his sights set on higher office. But Hunter, who was kicked out of the Navy Reserve after failing a drug test.
That's what I wanted to get to. Now, that's the meat, bread, and potato. Now, this is the same person who implemented, he was the architect behind the 94 crime bill. The architect behind that. But your son's is on crack. But you want to be, but you made sure over 550,000 black men and women went to prison for mandatory minimums on drug laws for crack and all this other shit that y'all brung to the United States of America. Not us. We don't own boats, planes, ships, cakes, cars, none of that. But your son is a dope fiend, and y'all motherfuckers voted for him. Let Obama's son or daughter, when he was running, even though I don't fuck with Obama, but let one of his daughters be a dope fiend. That nigga would have never made it past the first general shit. They'd have been like, nigga, your son's a dope. You're a crack addict. Stop. You're done. But these motherfuckers could be all kinds of fucked up, which goes to what I tell you about that joke about how your supervisor could be doing black tar heroin in the bathroom and come out and it's 30 degrees outside because it's the wintertime and he's sweating like a pedophile at a t-ball game and nobody says anything because all of them are on code. They're going to act like they don't even see your supervisor high as a kite. But let a black man come in sweating during the summertime. What you sweating for? Jerome, man, we're going to have to come in and we're going to have to drug test you. You've been sweating. It's 120 degrees outside. Yeah, but that's nigger sweat. So we're going to have to go ahead and drug test you and just make sure that everything is copacetic, okay?
Grappled with substance abuse for years. And after Bo died of brain cancer in 2015, Hunter says he was binge drinking vodka so heavily that his father intervened.
He came to my apartment one time, and this is when he was still in office as vice president. And so he was the vice president with the dope fiend kids. And we didn't even know about it really. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that fucking crazy? But he the president now, so they don't give a fuck. What you gonna do? Not vote for him again? You know black folks, you can't convince fools against their will. Black folks gonna keep voting for Joe Biden. Most black folks think Joe Biden is for them. Joe Biden don't give a fuck about no melanated brothers and sisters. He don't give a fuck about what you get. He don't care. He said it out of his own mouth. I'm not responsible for slavery. I can't be responsible for what my ancestors did, but you're a direct beneficiary of what your ancestors did. That's why he never went back on the Breakfast Club. Y'all notice that? I'm still waiting for the plan for black folk. What's the specific agenda for black folk? Now, this is March, April already. It's Easter. He been in office for a minute. Where's the specific agenda for black folk? Ain't no agenda. Because you're too busy listening to Sheila Jackson and all these dumb motherfuckers get on TV talking about reparations. Sheila Jackson, she's an immigrant. You notice they always, would white people let you go to another racial group to speak up on their behalf? Hell fucking no. They're going to speak on their behalf. But why is it when it comes to black folk, we got these tethers and we got all these other black folk that are not originally from this landmass that will speak out and speak oppositional of reparations? Because they know they're not getting none. Now, if they knew they was getting some, they'd be the main one speaking that shit. But since we are trying to, I would say, section things off, and you need to section things off because as Dr. Claude Anderson teaches, we are a special people. We built this country from scratch. We are a special people. So we are not like everybody else. Sorry, we're just not. We're not made like everybody else. We're not cut like everybody else. That's why our senses are different. That's how our views are different. Our music is different. Our soul is different. Because we know the burdens. We know the bloodshed. We know the tears, everything that comes along with building this great but wicked nation. So stop it with the bullshit. I was going to ditch the Secret Service. Figured out a way to get over to the house. And I said, what are you doing here? He said, honey, what are you doing? I said, Dad, I'm fine. He said, you're not fine.
He sought and got help in rehab. But in time, he fell off the wagon and deeper into...
Yeah. And you notice they not talking about the crack and all this other shit. They just talk about the drinking. They always talk about the drinking. That's just like, what's the nigga out of Florida that he was caught with his pants down and all this other shit, drinking around the other moist motherfuckers? I forgot his name. And he was talking about, I just got a drinking problem. But they had crack pipes and all that other shit in there. Nigga, if you not with that, you'd have been like, man, I can't fuck with that, bro, at all.
The abyss.
You would wake up some mornings, I shouldn't even say some mornings because you slept for like 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And be looking for crack and just smoke whatever.
Yes, she finally said it. I like this lady. Crack. See, because your daddy is the one who instituted the goddamn 94 crime bill, was the architect behind that shit, and had all them fucking mandatory minimums and shit, and then your own son is on crack. That's what you get. And ain't nobody paying attention because what they're trying to do is overshadow it, and what they're trying to do is pander to the other white supremacists that's going to be on code with that shit. And 99% of them going to be on code with it. They're going to be like, well, so he had a drug problem. What's wrong with that? You know, they'll look at black folks like, how dare you question him? You know, he had a drug problem. That's a drug problem. But if it's black people, he had a crack problem. Hey, that's a crackhead. You know how they do us. Here, let me wind that so we can hear that again from this lady.
15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And
basically said he slept 15 minutes at a time. That means that nigga was on the crack bench all day, every day.
Be looking for crack and just smoke whatever was there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, why the fuck we not talking about this shit? Fuck it, man. That's why the title's from Easter eggs to crack pipes. Easter eggs are crack pipes. Cause nigga, if you talking about go get some Easter eggs, you might as well go smoke crack. Cause like I said, bunnies don't lay eggs, they lay shit. Okay? Go out there and follow a bunny, and you think is that a chocolate egg? No, that's chocolate shit. And you teaching kids to go hide eggs and pick them up and eat them. Well, go follow a bunny around and see what he leave behind. He gonna leave some eggs around for you, some chocolate shit eggs.
I spent more time on my hands and knees, picking through rugs, smoking anything that even remotely resembled crack cocaine.
This is what I'm talking about. Hey, Delaware. Hey, let me tell you something, man. I want to visit Delaware one day in Washington, D.C., man, because I could just tell. I know a lot of the melanated brothers and sisters probably be like, man, ain't this some shit? And motherfuckers be thinking that the White House is all glamorous. Man, it's a dump around the White House. The White House look nice, but the rest of the city is a fucking dump. That's right there. They just don't show the rest of the city. And they can clean all that shit up, but if they do, they'd have to clean up the rest of the city and clean up the black neighborhoods. And that's what they not trying to do. And that's the thing. It's like, this man is basically telling you he a crack addict. He's a dope fiend. We ain't even talking about this shit, but motherfucker be telling you about going and praying to some motherfucking Cesare Borgia. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Smoke more Parmesan cheese than anyone that you know, I'm sure, Tracy.
Because there'd be crumbs mixed in, and you just...
Yeah. I mean, I went one time for 13 days without sleeping, and...
That's because he was high as a motherfucking kite. That nigga was on one.
Smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively throughout that entire time.
I love it. Look, when somebody tries to tell you about Joe Biden, be like, pull up this interview. Just go to Hunter Biden on Beautiful Things and his struggle with substance abuse, and just play him that video. Just be like, but you want me to believe in him? Oh, and then their defense is going to be like, oh, well, his son's got a problem. And say, well, my problem with his son and him is he was the architect behind the 94 crime bill that put a whole bunch of our people behind bars for this shit, and his son is out there smoking and snorting Quaaludes of the shit.
Hunter Biden's struggle with his personal demons is a big part of his new book, from an imprint of Simon & Schuster, a Viacom CBS company.
This nigga got a deal with Simon & Schuster But he a dope fiend. This is what I look. Let me tell you something. If I'm a dope fiend, nigga, first of all, ain't no more carbon plantation for me. And even if I'm a bum, no, they ain't gonna give a fuck. They ain't gonna care. They not gonna care. But white folk are the only people that I know. They can be rich, white. They can lose all their money, be dope fiends, and all they gotta do is shave and pretend like they not high for a couple of weeks, and they could be right back on top. They could be the vice president of a company, and you wouldn't even know it.
The title, Beautiful Things, is a phrase he and his brother shared to remind each other of the good in life.
It was the last thing that he said to me.
Was
Beautiful things. And I held his hand, and he took his last breath.
It can feel.
Don't be trying, don't be trying to, see, then the motherfucker be trying to get you to feel sorry for him and shit too. Nah, stop it with the bullshit.
Beau's death shook the entire Biden family, but the way Hunter dealt with his grief made headlines when he began dating his brother's widow.
after Beau died.
This is the shit that I'm talking about. And I read it, but I wasn't really paying attention. But I was like, man, that's some straight Texas Chainsaw Hills Have Eyes type shit. Man, look, you're white and rich. You couldn't find no bitch to go fuck with. You fucking with your dead brother's woman, and that's a tramp bitch too, to do that shit. Joe Biden, a.k.a. go buy them votes. I mean, that's a fact, man. That nigga was fucking his brother's wife. Now, what kind of shit is that? Now, you got all these women, but niggas be doing shit like that. I guess better them than me. It ain't that deep. I can go find somebody else, but I'm not trying to do all that. And as a man, you supposed to just be like, nah, man, that ain't a good look. But he didn't give a fuck at all. That nigga was like, I'm going to get this pussy. That nigga dead anyway. He'll do it to me.
You started a romantic relationship with Hallie, his widow.
Yep.
When the news of that broke, how did people look at you?
I think people were confused by it.
No, we wasn't confused. We knew you wasn't shit, and we knew his widow wasn't shit. The widow probably fuck Joe Biden too. She could. Fuck it. I'll fuck all of y'all. Fuck it. Bring the dicks on. I fuck all y'all. Shit, that's what it is. That's a trap motherfucker right there. But I guess, man, that bitch I'm gonna tell you where that bitch need to be. She need to be on Boulder Highway in Las Vegas or on Tropicana. She can make some money if that's what you want to do.
I understand that. I mean, I really do. To me, it's not something that is difficult to explain because it came out of a real overwhelming grief that we both shared.
No, y'all both was dope fiends and y'all got high and started fucking. Stop trying to make light of the situation, because any woman in their right mind would be like, nigga, your brother just died, man. Get the fuck away from me. I would say any integrist woman or a woman that exudes integrity and has self-respect in who she is, she's not gonna do that. You know, okay, niggas do nigga shit, but you know, any real nigga with integrity, he'd be like, nah, I'm not doing all that, man. It ain't that deep. Some motherfuckers will do it though, I guess. It ain't that deep to me, man. That's weird anyway. You're supposed to be grieving. But he wasn't grieving because he was too busy high as a motherfucking kite.
And we were together and trying to do the right thing. And that grief turned into a hope for a love that maybe could replace what we lost.
Translation. My brother was dead. I was sad. You was sad. Let's get high and let's just get high and fuck. And if this shit goes somewhere, then maybe it was just meant to be. Because he's dead. He's not coming back. And I can't deal with the pain. Neither can you. So let's just do crack and fuck. That's what really happened.
And it didn't work. It didn't.
Yeah, because she was probably feeling shameful because people was probably getting at her like, man, what is you doing?
Work.
I mean, you said you lost clients over this. You lost business over this.
Yeah,
You had
absolutely.
to step down from the World Food Program.
Yeah. Well, I made a lot of decisions that I probably shouldn't have made.
Yeah, like smoking crack.
there was a lot more compassion and understanding for the people that knew me, but it was a horrible time too.
And then there's this. In 2014, the younger Biden took a job on the board of a Ukrainian energy company, Burisma Holdings, at a time when his father, who was then vice president, had an active role in U.S. policy toward Ukraine. It raised eyebrows at the time, but by the 2020 election...
Y'all didn't know that shit. Now that I did know. Now that I ain't gonna lie, I did know that because that was on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. I know everybody knew about that shit, but they kind of kept that shit silent, though. They kept it under their hat.
Hunter Biden was the center of a political firestorm.
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use.
Hey, when I was watching this shit, man, I was rolling. I was like, Donald Trump is a funny motherfucker. Donald Trump was one of the motherfuckers like, okay, I'm a racist white supremacist too. I'm with this shit too, but fuck all y'all. I'm rich though. Like, I don't have to do none of this shit. My daddy had money. See, he's one of those white supremacists. He's the wild card. That's why they didn't like him. I'm going to tell y'all right now, from my perspective, that's why they didn't like him. And I'm going to say it again. Every other racial group didn't like him either because he didn't just focus on niggas. He took that white supremacist view and spread it around to everybody. And that's why they didn't like Donald Trump. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. No, I'm not no Trump supporter, but I'm telling you right now, I would rather take my racist blunt, upfront, and ready to do what the fuck they need to do than a goddamn Joe Biden who would smile with me and then create a 94 crime bill and then be like, well, y'all asked for it. Like, what the fuck you mean, man? This ain't affecting your people. This is affecting our people. And then when it's time for you to show and prove, you don't even want to say, hey, man, I messed up. He didn't even give a fuck about saying he messed up. And then Hillary Clinton, she probably mad that she said she did mess up because, look, you ain't seen or heard from that bitch since. This is the type of shit that I'm talking about, man. And these are the things that we need to be focused on. And you're like, well, why are you talking about son? I'm talking about son because you created a crime bill that affected a lot of black families that got addicted to crack cocaine. You brung that shit to the United States of America to make money. And then at the hands and backs of black folk. And then you came up with all these mandatory minimums and you sat back and let it fucking crumble and fall and you didn't give a fuck how bad it affected black families. But then your son is on the same shit and he gets preferential treatment. And then black folk will turn around and tell you to vote for him. And it's like, well, I'm not going to vote for this motherfucker and I know he don't give a fuck about no niggas. And I wouldn't vote for Donald Trump either. Just don't vote.
And he didn't have a job until you became vice president.
Let's rewind this again. Because I want y'all to really hear this.
Elections, Hunter Biden was the center of a political firestorm.
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you became vice president, he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
that is simply
and various
not
other places.
True.
Looking back, did you make a mistake taking a spot on that board?
No, I don't think I made a mistake.
No, because I'm white and I don't give a fuck. And my daddy got money too. My daddy was the vice president. So he had power. So yeah, I'm going to fucking use that power to put my white ass in a position where I ain't got to be doing all that. So no, that's what he's basically saying. I don't understand why black folk always want white people to be like, oh, I made such a mistake. Like the girl that went on the Red Table Talk and Jada Pinkett Smith. And that's what Jada Pinkett Smith and them get. See, you was fucking around with your son's friend and then the nigga caught feelings for you and you was just getting your fuck on. And then he caught feelings. You didn't really want to be bothered because, imagery wise, it didn't look good. And then the nigga told. And then once he told, you was just like in a maze. But that's what Jada Pinkett get because you going to bring Snoop Dogg on there. And when you said that, I felt like you were talking to me. Like you're such a poor righteous teacher. And the whole time you fucking your son's best friend. So fuck Jada Pinkett. She full of shit. What would Tupac say if he was alive and watching you do the shit that you doing with your clown ass? And now you and your husband getting divorced because that was all imagery. Them motherfuckers probably was separated for years, probably 10, 15 years. But there's just imagery. Oh, we just make it work. And then they're going to try to make a joke at the end of the Red Table Talk. We ride together, we die together. Bad marriage for life. That bullshit. Man, get the fuck out of here. I want to hear that shit.
In taking the spot on the board. I think I made a mistake in terms of underestimating the way in which it would be used against me.
But you must have seen the optics. Even back then, you must have, I mean, how could you not have foreseen that this was going to look bad?
Because I really didn't. I'm being as honest with you as
Look, man, look, that's some funny shit. That nigga was like, well, I didn't even know. But, man, I ain't gonna, look, man, we ain't gonna play the whole thing. I just want to play some clips so y'all can understand, man. Let me tell you something. This day today, Easter Sunday, what y'all need to start doing is, man, stop celebrating this shit that they gave y'all. Stop thinking that success is the template that the dominant society gives you. That's their definition of success. Success could be replacing the salary that they gave you and using your skill set and your intellectual property to become an entrepreneur. That's what you should be feeling is success to you, and not just sitting up here clocking in. That going to the court plantation, man, fuck what y'all niggas talking about. That shit is gruesome. It's tiresome. You tired, you stressed out, you don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we just don't have the means to want to work hard for ourselves because we haven't been raised that way. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Because a lot of people haven't been raised that way. I haven't been raised that way. I've been raised, go to school, get you a good job. And just get a good job and work there for 30 years. But think about it, you work there 30 years, then your dick don't work. So now what you gonna do? Now you gotta get the dicky pills because it's like, man, or you can work there for 30 years and, oh, now you're sickly. So now you done put in all that work, now you can't even enjoy it. So fuck that. Fuck what these niggas got to say when it comes to that. And my thing is this. The reason why I really go hard on Easter is because why is it that we use the dominant society's made up day for us to come together? Like, you know, for us to come together and pray and worship and all this other stuff. Black folks should be coming together on the strength to work together, to establish a code so you can be on the same team no matter. You don't have to get along with everything. You don't have to agree with everything. It's not about being in agreement with each other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But why is it we can come together for a made up day, some day that they just picked and made the fuck up? But when it's time to handle business for each other and ride and die for each other, oh, fuck that nigga. That nigga ain't shit and all this nigga's lazy and all this other stuff. It's like, man, I feel like, you know, we're doing ourselves a disservice. You know what I mean? We just are. We're doing ourselves a disservice, and to me, we just not handling business the right way, man. And I think that's what it's about. Be in your lane. That's another thing I'm gonna say. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. It is very hard, man. It's very hard. That's why I was talking to just, you gotta go watch the podcast. I hate to keep referring to that yesterday, but it was good because when I was talking to my nigga Nick, that nigga was like, hey, Tasha, that nigga pulled up that party that we had at Mama's house where that bitch got pushed into the wall. I don't know if you remember that shit. Remember that shit? When they used to be having them Hennessy Thursdays? Remember that shit, Tasha, when they used to be having that shit? And that bitch was dancing. It was all them blunts and shit. Them niggas was getting fucked up. Shawnee, just in case if you don't know, they used to have Hennessy Thursday at my mom's house. Them niggas used to be over there tripping. But anyway, man, he had pulled up that video that I uploaded. And I just was uploading because it was funny. And that shit got like 60,000 views. And he was like, nah, you wasn't lying, bro. You got hella views. I was like, bro, I've had more videos. I just deleted them all. I had like 4 videos with like 20,000 views. And then I had got off of YouTube for like 5 years. After 2012, I didn't make no more videos. All those videos was made from 2010 to 2012. After he took his last breath, he went through his pockets. and after that, good on Hennessy Thursday. Yeah, Todd, you remember that shit. And then I got off YouTube for like 5 years. Because I almost felt like I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know. I didn't get no high off those views. I get more satisfaction, honestly, when I get, you can just, as long as it's people that's really fucking with the channel, fuck with the channel. That's what I told Nick, bro. Be in your own lane. Don't try to be like everybody else. I don't need to have 10,000 views because then you don't even know who the fuck watching your shit. And it could be haters and agent provocateurs trying to shadow ban your channel. That's why I be vetting out. I be going, when somebody subscribe to my page, the majority of the time I'll go through and check if I had the time, like, who is this person? You know what I'm saying? The reason why I do that is because I want it to be organic. I'm not trying to do all that, man. But anyway, man, stay in your own lane. If you want to enjoy your Easter, man. Make it what you want to make it. It don't have to be going to church and singing in the choir. You already know the niggas be, did he come back today? Ah, damn. You know, then a nigga be mad and shit. But I would say, look at everything around you when you're at the court plantation. Become introverted. I would say compartmentalize all the bullshit that you got going on. Check it at the door. Keep your composure, because you know a lot of these white folk, they poke at niggas when you get at the court plantation, man. And remember, that shit ain't cool, because you know the minute you lose your cool, like Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood. If Cheryl Underwood would have snapped on that bitch, they'd have been like, nigga, you fired. Guilty, nigga, you fired. You know they'd have fired her. That's why she had to stand there and rephrase her words and all that shit. Well, you're not white, so that's why you got to do that. And one more thing, man, before I get up out of here. Y'all niggas stop explaining to white people what racism is. Any niggas you know, Tasha, tell these motherfuckers. Shawnee, tell them. Any niggas, I'm pretty sure Philly's a little different, though. But any black person that you know, when you hear them explaining racism to white folk, be like, hey, man, don't do that shit. Just pull their ass to the side and tell them don't do that shit. They gonna be like, nah, because white people know what racism is. They know exactly what it is. And I don't care what the fuck you say. Stop with the bullshit, man. Hey, and I'm about to start playing the Mammy music again, too, by the way. Remember that time, Shawnee, I was playing that shit? I couldn't even get through the shit because the shit was so funny. But hey, man. And email me some books. I ain't read the book of Enoch yet. I'm reading the price for a pound of flesh right now. I got to get some more books and read them. If y'all got any new books, man, just get at me and let me know, man. But anyway, I appreciate it. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to blackandnoble.com. I fuck with them. That CMOS be on point. And if y'all niggas ain't taking that shit, then I don't know what the fuck with. Hey, y'all niggas need to fuck with Freedom Paper Company too, nigga. I know y'all niggas gotta wipe your ass. If niggas ain't wipe your ass, then get the fuck away from me with that stanky booty shit. You know, some niggas is nasty like that. Some niggas that take a shit, they go fuck a bitch without showering. But anyway, hey man, support a black business, man. Don't just be talking about it, be about it. Got you, fam. Hey, support black business. Make sure you handle the business. Stay in your own lane. Stop trying to compete with other people. Compete with yourself. Hey, man, it's been one. Hey, I'll holler at y'all probably like on Tuesday or some shit like that. And shout out to everybody out there that's researching and reading and shit. Because it's, what you say, just took a tablespoon of sea moss. Hey, let me know you running out of that shit too, Tasha. I got you. I got a big shipment of that shit in there too. Hey, shout out to Mix of Health too, man. They sent me some purple sea moss too. So I'm on that shit. If you want some purple sea moss, just let me know. I'm about to get some more from their asses. But hey, I appreciate everybody out there, man. For all y'all niggas that want to go fuck a bitch on Easter Sunday in her Easter suit, you know what I'm saying? Just pull the skirt to the side and nigga go do your thing, man. I ain't tripping off y'all. And nigga, and for all y'all niggas that want some COVID pussy, nigga be like, hey man, what you trying to do? I don't know what you want to do. Nigga be like, well shit, let me just put this condom on. But anyway, man, I appreciate all y'all. For all y'all niggas that's out there sandballing and cooning, guilty nigga, I don't fuck with y'all niggas, man. I gotta get the fuck out of here, nigga. I'm out, man. Peace.